Alright, so I'm done with the trailer grinding all the spot welds and uh, slag and spatter and everything off of the trailer rails now, right? All of them, except for the one laying on the ground over there, which we'll get to later. Um, so I finally have a clean surface to do some measurements on, and I'm standing back and I'm looking at the trailer, and I'm wondering, something just doesn't seem right to my eyes. And for the first time since I've had the trailer, um, I can measure the beams without interference. And I noticed something. I don't know if y'all will see it. Top rail, just the tiniest bit of rock in it. Bottom rail, this end, that end. Uh, eighth of an inch. That's not so bad. Move it about a foot. This end, that end. It's almost flat. Here, quarter inch. You see that? Down here, about a quarter inch. I can put my whole finger under it right here, almost. You see that? And down here at the end, I can get my finger up to here before I start picking it up. So, what, a little over half an inch? And the other side's pretty much the same way. I don't know if y'all can see me. You probably can't see me right here off to the side. Nah, you can't. The sun's over here. I'll set you there. And while this may seem devastating, the top rail is still almost perfectly flat. The bend got transferred into the frame up there, as far as that's concerned. Again, right here, I can stick my whole finger under it. And you start getting my finger under it there, it's at least a quarter inch. Flat right there. Alright. Got a twist in it actually right here. And then almost flat right here to here. Almost flat. I'm going to say it's an eighth of an inch. So they bent this frame right here at the spring carriers when they put something on the back end of it, and they had the front still attached to a vehicle. And I'll show you how that transferred to the front right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's get down on it. You see that twist in that? So it pulled the top rail together here at the top. And it bent right here. It actually pushed the bottom rail out and bent it that way. Same on this side. Pushed it out and down that way. These rails have a slight bow going this way of about a quarter inch over the 8 feet. It's out of straight, and it's mostly centered around the spring pocket down here on the bottom. You can't really see it. See that little piece of metal? It's centered around there and transferred up the fender on both sides. It's the exact same. It cups out right there on both sides. So, without replacing the whole piece of metal right here, I have to deal with it as it is. Now, I talked to my dad about it, and he said he just wants a functional trailer. And so, more than likely, I'm just going to weld that bow right back into it. The top rail, going down each side, is almost perfectly flat. And so, I can weld it back together the way it is, but I can put it back together the way it is. But, yeah, the floor is going to be bowed no matter what I do. Unless I replace that rail. And I don't really want to replace that rail. I've cut everything else off of it. And at this point in juncture, I really should just go ahead and put these tubes in. Let's see if you can see them. I should put these tubes in for the frame for the bottom. But I don't know what that's going to do, because those are nice and straight. I don't know what that would do to me for the floor. It wouldn't be as good a connection on the floor as it is on the tubing there. See, because this one has 4 sides and 2 inches apart on the span on the weld on each side, and plus a bead down each length of where the rail overlaps the other. And with those rails, with these rails, that is not going to happen. On top of that, those rails are 1.5 inches, and this rail is 2 inch, and the spring pocket is designed for, what do you call it, 2 inch rail. It's 2 inches wide. I don't really know if it's designed specifically for it, but what I'm going to end up doing is, if I go to the outer dimension of what I had before, because I don't have that 2 inch rail, I have 1.5 inches, then the inside of the spring pockets is going to be set about 3/4 of an inch, I think, over to the inside. And then same thing with the spring perch in the back, the slip spring. And what do you call it? Shoot, I can't think of the words. I was going to say it. I'm going to have support issues, is what I'm thinking. I'm going to mess up the spacing for the axle if I do that. Right, there to there. I have to have a very specific distance, 58.5 inches, for the center of the spring purchase, pardon me, in order to make this happen. So, I'm just sitting there thinking about what I'm going to do. I might could stick that, the tubing, the railing, on the inside of the rails down each side, and that might work. As far as it is right now, I'm taking a break.